Barton FM, following Barton Town. Sport on Barton FM is sponsored by Easy Buy.
Welcome to Swans Talk with me, Richard Watts. With the Barton chairman, Mark Gregory, and they've got the Sportsman's Dinner coming up at the end of May. Can you fill us in on all the details?
After the success of last year with Kevin Keegan, who was absolutely awesome on the night, obviously we wanted to get another bigger name. It's a great way to earn some funds for the club, and it's also a great way to have a really good night, especially at the end of the season, and hopefully a happy end of the season. So John Barnes, I hope he does the England rap. That'll be great. Tickets and tables are still available. Not many left because they are selling fast, so as they would. So please let me know if anybody does want a table.
Right, so what's the best way for people to get in touch with
They
you?
could either email myself or email Pete Mitchell, and our emails are on the website, or obviously it's all over social and stuff, and just follow the links.
For the latest Barton Town news and information, visit the club's website at www.bartontownfc.co.uk.
Next up, Aaron Irwin talking to Nathan Jarman after the victory against Yorkshire Amateur last Saturday.
So we picked up a 3-0 win at home to Yorkshire Amateurs. Comfortable?
Yeah. Very comfortable. Didn't trouble us. We had 70-80% of possession. I don't know how much it was. Comfortable game, and we try and rile our lads up before and tell them, look, it's not going to be as easy as you think, and it's a potential banana skin, but you have to keep them on their toes, and that's what we did.
Is it sort of the league can deceive you, can't it? Like, you go into these games, you try not to be complacent because it's bottom of the league, but there's no easy games, I suppose.
Well, that's it. No one's like they still come and they still fight and they still battle for everything. And they made the sub at half time. The lad comes on and he's just basically wants to fight, and you can tell that that's what they're all about. And I get it. They're fighting for their lives, and you know what they're doing. But it's I don't think we was out of second gear, to be honest. If we'd have been troubled at all, we could have gone a lot harder. We could have raised the intensity levels, but we worked really hard, and I don't think Muzzer had anything to do today.
No, it's good to get a clean sheet. Obviously, it's sort of a confidence booster, isn't it? A few goals in, clean sheet. Yeah,
I mean, Mark just told me it's our 10th clean sheet in the season. Defensively, we've got the best record in the league. We've played a lot less games than quite a few teams, but that's what we aim to do: keep the goals out and then score as many as we can at the other end.
For the latest Barton Town news and information, visit the club's website at www.bartontownfc.co.uk.
With the Barton chairman, Mark Gregory, we're just, in terms of games played, we're just over halfway in the season. What are your thoughts on the season so far?
Good. Obviously, we kind of left off from last season. We was in a very good run, but unfortunately the weather hits, as it does every year. I think this year's been probably worse, but obviously we're just stood pitch side now, and the pitch looks good.
Yeah, it does.
It just doesn't drain well, we've only played probably 2 or 3 games over the last couple of months, so it's hard for the lads to get into memento again. But Emily game on Tuesday, we felt that that was a big game. That would have been probably if we would have won, that would have been probably back on top again, because we've got loads of games in hand. Obviously, if we win all our games in hands, we're second or third in the league.
Yeah.
But it's come to that stage because of the postponements. We're obviously relying on other teams to lose, draw, but we've just got to concentrate on ourselves and keep on getting as many 3 points as we physically can.
Yeah.
And I think come probably end of this month, beginning of next month, I think that's where we're going to find out where, if we can get to that second spot, and that's still the target. 100%.
Just briefly touching on the Tuesday game where we saw that serious injury to Joe Jagger, and the club's received a great deal of praise for the way it handled it. You must be pleased about that.
100%. I mean, since I've been here 6 years, unfortunately, we have seen 2 or 3 bad injuries here, and every time the club are on hand, especially the AA physio, and I think Lynn had a massive hand, was just there with the player, and we all just mucked in and helped him as much as we can, and obviously we hope, we wish Joe all the best. I actually had a phone call from their chairman on Monday morning, just basically thanking us, which was a great touch. And just only 10 minutes ago, believe it or not, I've just received 2 bunches of flowers from the Emily chairman to our physio and Lynn, just to say thanks, and there's a card in it just saying thanks, and it's actually from Joe.
Very good.
So brilliant. I mean, we've got a brilliant team here off the field, and we've got a brilliant team on the field. And I just want to say thanks to everybody personally, because we've got a great set of people down here, and I love them to bits.
Just touching on sort of like the waterlogging, is there anything you can do to improve it going forward?
We our groundsman Alan has been working hard during pre-season and during the back end of this year, and we've just put in for a grant. We managed to find a grant where the club can fund 25% and the grant pays 75%. So we've done Alan and ourselves have done all the groundwork, but unfortunately we've hit a snag because the council are saying that we need planning permission to put drainage in, which is unbelievable. So now we're back to the drawing board again, and now we're having to maybe have to put in planning permission or get written permission from the council to say that we don't need planning permission before the grant basically accepts us. If we can get it done and the grant can go through, then hopefully we'll get drainage in this pitch during pre-season. That is the plan. Right. That's our next plan. Also on the cards is LED lighting going forward. So we're always trying to improve off the field, which hopefully then improves on the field. But yeah, we've hit a bit of a block there. If we do need a planning permission, that's probably going to put us back 12 months. I know. So I'm just hoping that the council see the reasons why we want to put drainage in, and I don't know why we need planning permission to put a few pipes in some grass, but that's just where we are with that.
And off the field, the number of teams always seems to be growing and doing well, with the reserves development seem to be progressing well. Yeah,
the reserves, the under-18s. I mean, the under-18s have already beaten once this season, so that just proves that Sam was doing a great job there, and Steph, to progress these youngsters, to hopefully progress through to the first team. And again, the reserves are out having a good season. Down at Immingham too, so hopefully they'll bring us 3 points back. I think they're top 8, I think, in their league. So yeah, both teams are having a really good season, and obviously further down, all the youth teams are having a decent season. I think the under-8s are unbeaten as well.
That's good going.
So yeah, all happy days there.
That's great. Thank you.
All right, thanks.
Cheers.
For the latest Barton Town news and information, visit the club's website at www.bartontownfc.co.uk.
I'm joined by Aaron Walton. We've got a couple of wins to look back on. I think the one on Saturday is fairly straightforward, Yorkshire Amateur. Never really had to get. You don't often get an easy game in this league, but that was as close as you're going to get to it, I think.
Yeah. I think, like the management said, they never really needed to get out of second gear, did they?
No.
And I think there was more there if they needed it. They just did everything they needed to do, really. A bit like a training run, isn't it? Really. Yeah. It was competitive, I suppose, at times, but not that competitive. The Yorkshire Amateurs are scrapping for their lives. They one or two tidy players on their team, but they're struggling for players. A lot of young lads there. They've got one or two old heads who still playing. Jamal Stewart still playing. Kadeem Morton, they're still playing. So they're not. I don't think they're as bad as some people make out. But again, it was a really sort of professional performance from Barton.
Yeah, very good effort. Yeah. And then we moved swiftly on till last night, where terrific game. Played at a good pace and an absolutely unbelievable finish.
Want it just, and I think it was a really, like you say, it was a really good game. There was good football from both teams. I thought everybody on Barton put a shift in as per usual. There was some stellar performances in defence from Barton, wasn't there?
It certainly was, yeah.
I mean, the usual culprits: Hottie, Lacey, Papril, who stand out for me. Scott Matthews. Scott. I mean, you mentioned it, didn't you? With the game, Scotty was just beating for pace on early on, and he brought the laddie down. And sometimes you think, well, the referee will just have a word with you, but obviously we were sat next to the assessor, so we knew it would be a booking. And to be honest, to listen to the assessor, I think he was going on about. He was talking into his dictaphone, wasn't he?
Yeah.
And I think he kept saying, I don't know if you could hear him, Richard, oh, that's a booking and that's a booking. And I was totting him up. There was about 12 bookings there for both teams. And you think, it's never a booking in a million years. But obviously, going back to that, Scotty had to tread carefully, didn't he? And that winger for Albion looked like he got a bit of pace. And then, like you said, he never troubled him again, did he?
No. So I mean, you thought after that yellow card coming so early with somebody of that pace attacking you, Scott Matthews will do well to stay on the pitch.
Yeah. Well, unfortunately, it was somebody else went on instead. But as I say, the first half, I mean, it was a little bit sort of even Steven, but Barton, if you can say it, looked like they got the upper hand, didn't they?
Yeah.
There was some real good attacks going through, and as I say, we've talked about the defence, but the attackers look really good, really. Ben Hinchcliffe and Sam Cable, they were phenomenal. Not only in attacking, but closing the defenders down and making them make mistakes or getting a blocking where it's out for a throw in really deep in their half, pinning them down. So that was superb. And then the goal, well, we thought it had gone in already, hadn't we? Because it was a swinging corner. Who was the culprit doing the corner? Was it Mr.
Scott Matthews, wasn't it?
Scott Matthews, yeah. It was one of his better corners, and it looked like it swung and somebody got a touch on it and gone in. They all put their hands up. It had gone in. However, Tom Warby had the foresight to no, I'll knock it in again, and a scramble and he gets the goal, doesn't he?
Yeah.
So that's 1-0. Don't look particularly troubled. Obviously, Albion always look neat, tidy on the ball. They're pretty good in defence, aren't they? I mean, I'm surprised we scored from a header because they've got them big lads at the back, haven't they? They've got Isa Folding and the Basses, Cameron and Aaron, although Cameron didn't come on till near the end. Surprised that we sort of beat them in the air type of thing. So that was good. So at half time 1-0. Come out for the second half. Again, Barton creating lots of chances. Richard, some real good running off the ball from Ben and Sam Cable, and Ben did a nice little diagonal run, didn't he? And I can't remember who fed him the ball. And a good run, and it just run away from him, didn't it? Just at the end.
Yeah.
And straight into George McMahon, the keeper. And then obviously there was and then unfortunately we went down to 10 men, didn't we?
Yeah, we did.
Tom Wardby seeing the red mist. I think it was a red card. I think we're both agreed on that. However,
you might have got away with it at home.
No,
you definitely wouldn't get away with it away.
No, definitely not. I mean, he caught the lad. He was going. I think he was going for the ball, but he was going for the ball with aggression. He got to go with the ball. But he looked like he'd gone to three of them and they'd passed it, haven't they, like a hot potato across. Because I think he wanted a free kick, didn't he? And it looked like a foul. It looked like it'd been foul, but the referee was. I mean, he wasn't that bad, but he was a bit hit and miss, wasn't he, with the referee with his decisions.
Yeah.
and listening to the assessor talking into his dictaphone, I think he would have probably. I think he's probably still there talking to them.
Oh, yeah, it was incredible, wasn't it?
It's so much.
I mean, it doesn't do it. There's times when when they know the assessor in the stand, which they obviously do. It doesn't do them any favors, does it? It just
no. I think it sometimes puts a little bit too much pressure on the lads, the referee and the linos, to be honest. But I mean, he was busy, but he was one of them referees that liked to talk to the players, and you think you're wasting your time giving them a lecture.
Yeah.
Just make it short and sweet and snappy, and come away. Because they don't listen, do they? Well, they're in the heat of the game, aren't they? They're not concentrating on what a referee's saying. They're concentrating on getting back, or they're concentrating on defending or attacking, that type of thing. Or they've got the coach ringing in their ear holes. Yeah. So that it's pointless. And he was one of them big chatters, wasn't he?
Yeah. Yeah, you go back a few years, you didn't see Jack Taylor having a conversation, did you? Or you don't see Kalina having a conversation. They might have a bit of a laugh at times, but they're not sat there chattering away.
Oh, good God, no. Just a few words, just a few choice words, correct words, and that's it. But like the referees have got to learn, haven't they? I mean, a lot of them are young lads, and they've got to learn.
You've got to learn. Yeah, that's true.
He's certainly not the worst referee we've seen this season by a long, long way. And it's very rare that me and you come away actually feeling slightly sorry for a referee.
Yeah.
Because we'll get on to that in a minute. So we're down to 10 men. Albion start attacking a little bit more, don't they? They're playing a nice little bit of interchange. The wingers are playing well. I think Robbie Fox came on and he looked dangerous, didn't he?
He did.
And then there was a ball played through, and was it Jarrow Parchment, wasn't it? He'd gone in for the ball. It was there to be won, but he'd gone into the keeper, hadn't he? He'd gone into Musselwhite. Second yellow card, and he was off. And you think, well, that was, I would say, a little bit harsh, but
I would have been very disappointed if it had gone. If it was a Barton player who'd picked up a second yellow card for that, I would have been very disappointed.
Yeah, exactly. I think it was a soft one, but that levelled it down to 10 against 10, and then it was a bit even Steven then, wasn't it? Backwards and forwards, and then probably their best move of the game coming from the keeper, played it out to Aaron Bassey, across to Cameron Bassey, then popped it down the wing. Scott Matthews, he had quite a bit of work to do down there, didn't he? Because he looked like he seemed to be marking two most of the game. I think just got round him, and what a real good finish. And I think it was Robbie Fox again. I think.
Yeah, it was a terrific finish. It was their best player of the night by a country mile, wasn't it?
It wanted just, and what a lovely finish. Real good finish.
It was a good
nothing the keeper could have done about it. So we're thinking 1-1, and then what a kerfuffle on the far side of the pitch. Well, dear me, it was like carry on, wasn't it?
It was.
I think what had happened if people weren't there, what had happened was the Albion bench and manager and Uncle Tom Cobley and all had gone running past the Barton bench to, they were up, they think they'd saved a point on the 90th minute. And somebody, and we couldn't see who, from the Barton bench, stuck a leg out and tripped somebody up. Well, it's like in the playground, isn't it? There was a coming to, and there was off puff and bravado and handbags at 20 paces. Oh dear me, that's why we felt sorry for the referee, because he'd had to sort all that out.
Yeah.
A difficult one. Anyway, the upshot was Mr. Jarman got sent off, didn't he? And what did he do wrong, Richard? What did he do wrong?
Let him walk right across the centre of the pitch. I think I remember the.
That's what the referees are saying. To be honest, I think Jarman just wanted to get off the pitch as quickly as possible. So anyway, that was all that kerfuffle. And you're thinking, 1-1. Don't you think 1-1? Probably 2 points lost. But Barton had no intentions, did they, of having a draw? It was they'd attacked. The ball had gone out, hadn't they? And it was Josh Lacey with a long throw. He's getting better and better with his long throws, isn't he?
Yeah, really good.
Really good with them long throws. And George McMahon had a punch, and it just went up in the air, didn't it, from the keeper? Bounced down. Nobody really got a grip of it. Came out to who I thought had a very, very good game, and he's in the game for 90 minutes now, not in and out, was Harrison Coley.
Yeah,
he's had a really good game.
Yeah,
back to goal. You think, what are you going to do? What are you going to do? Back to goal. Turned, made himself a little bit of space, and hit a shot. And how many people did it go through?
Yeah, I watched it earlier, and there's only one way that it could go into the goal, and he's got it to absolute perfection. The only gap there was, and it's gone and he got it in the corner.
A slide rule shot, wasn't it? To make it 2-1 at the death, and then there were scenes of jubilance, and 2 players took the shirts off, and only one got booked.
Yeah.
So
Danny North didn't have a skin underneath him. Harrison Cole, he did have a green skin on underneath. So whether that's why he got away with it, maybe.
Well done. Well, there's a moral in the story there. Always have a skin underneath of the same colour as the shirt, and you can take your shirt off and you won't get booked. Because I think poor old referee was absolutely shattered by that time, and he's probably thinking, when I get into that changing room, I've got that Herbert up in the stands. He'll tell me everything that I've done wrong, nothing that I've done right. Oh, I'm going to get home at midnight here.
It must have been 2 hours after the game. After listening to the assessor chatting away. It must have been.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Because how many notes did he? We're talking into that headpiece he had. Dear me. Unbelievable, because he could talk.
I was almost wondering about offering him to do the commentary at one time. He was covering
everything. Yeah, better than us. Well, he knows the laws of the game anyway.
It certainly does, yeah. Yeah.
We didn't. But that doesn't stop us, does it? So that was 2-1, and that was an absolutely really, really good game for every. I mean, it was worth the journey there, wasn't it, Rich?
It was, yeah.
To see that.
Yeah.
So we come on to that 6 points out of a possible 6 points. So that's good. Now, nothing gets any harder than we go to the local El Clasico, the Lincolnshire Poachers derby against our old friends from Winterton Rangers at the MKM Stadium. Not the MKM Stadium in Hull, but the real MKM Stadium in Winterton. So that's all poised. Now, that's going to be a hell of a game, isn't it? Winterton are on God knows how many winning streak. I've seen them quite a lot of times this season. And they're another team that don't really seem to get out or second or third gear. However, they win. They know how to win. They know how to box a game off. They've got some old heads in there. They've got some young lads in there. They've got a real good mix. They've got a manager who doesn't need to say a great deal, but he knows how to set his team up. The only chink of light I've got is how well we played against them at the beginning of the season.
Yeah, yeah.
I thought we were, pardon the expression, I thought we were robbed of 2 points there with that the foul on Ben Vos, the keeper that time. 2 hands on it on the floor, kicked it out of his hands.
Yeah.
I'm maybe not sure that the referee had a good view of that, but I don't want to be classed as defending referees all the time. That'll go against my religion, wouldn't it? So, but what does worry me is when Winterton came here last season to Barton, they just got everything right, didn't they? They got the tactics right.
They played really well.
They played really well. We never really had a sniff, did we? They didn't let us play. It's not that Barton played badly; they just didn't let us play. So somebody had done the homework there, and they just I think there was only Winterton and Grimsby Borough that sort of really, I felt, outplayed us.
Yeah.
Last season, we had 1 or 2. I mean, like Mansfield was a bit of a dodgy result, but that was just one of them things. But as I say, so it should be all set up for a really good game. And if I was a betting man, I'm just wondering if there would be 22 players left on the pitch at full time.
It definitely needs a strong referee.
It certainly does, and it certainly doesn't want a referee who's going to be assessed.
No.
Otherwise, they'll be sending people off left, right, and Chelsea.
Yeah.
And I don't think Barry Hewson at Winton will want to be switching the immersion heater on very early for early baths.
No.
So, but that's all settled. It should be a good game. That should be a really good game. Real good Lincolnshire derby. Hoping everybody gets down. The travelling Swans get down to Winton to cheer the lads on. We do with a good crowd there. Winton, certainly. I mean, I'm always disappointed that more people at Winton don't go watch them because they're a successful team, and it's a nice setup at Winton, isn't it, Rich?
Yeah.
So get yourselves down there to watch us, and then if we could just look a little bit further, because the games are coming thick and fast, aren't they? Because we've got another Lincolnshire derby against our really, really good friends from Bottisford, haven't we? On Tuesday night.
Yeah.
Now, and Bottisford, well, we thought they were dead and buried, and then they go to Silsden and beat them. That's
incredible.
That's probably one of the best performances from Bottisford all season, to go there all that way on a Tuesday night, and I think put 4 past them really good, because Silsden are no mugs. But
they look on paper, they look an extremely good side, Silsden.
Well, they do. They've got some good strikers. I mean, we're just discussing what Jack Normanton's back with them from Brighouse. They maybe not quite just got into the groove yet. Obviously, coming from Brighouse sort of halfway through the season, but
we're waiting for playing Barton.
Probably, yeah. But the only thing is, when we play Silsden, we do tend to hopefully outscore them. So we've got some good games to 2 more good games to come. As I say, we've got Winton on Saturday. That should be a really good test. Hopefully, I'm hoping that Tom Wardby's red card, his ban doesn't start straight away. But then again, if it starts after Winton, he's going to miss the Ferriby game, isn't he?
Yeah.
And it's not as if we've got a massive squad. We've got a strong squad, but we've not got a massive squad. So, but hey ho, it's a chance for 1 or 2 other lads on the bench, and hopefully, I'm hoping what's he called, the lad who's been out injured? What was that in Australia?
Grant Tate.
I'm getting old. I'm terrible with names now. I used to know everybody. Grant Tate, yeah. Hopefully he can maybe get back into the team. He's had a little bit of an injury, so get Grant back in, and because you've got Will Wardby, who basically I'm sure he could play goalkeeper if you asked him.
Yeah, play anywhere. Yeah,
plays anywhere. Never lets you down. I say he had a good grafting performance yesterday, didn't he? When he came on,
he did.
So he played really well. But as I said, they all played well last night. You couldn't. We were discussing at the end, and we on the way home, we couldn't pick a man of the match, could we?
No.
Because everybody did something and something well. You've got Josh Lacey with his tackles, timed to perfection. And it's funny that, as again, going back to that assessor, listening to that assessor, Josh Lacey, perfect tackle, and I could hear him muttering into his headphones, that's a yellow card. And you think, he's got the ball.
It was a great tackle.
Yeah, because you couldn't hear what he was saying, Richie, because I was sat next to him. But that, and I'm thinking, never a yellow card in a million years. And I think it was when Ben Hinchcliffe, he did a block and a tackle, and then he was going, no, he's missed that yellow card. And you're thinking, Ben's not fouled him. So I think he did a good job he's not reffing, because there would be nobody left on the pitch. So, dear me, so I do have a little bit of sympathy with the referees if they've got assessors like that, do you?
Yeah.
Wow. So, anyway, onwards and upwards. You can't go wrong. 2 games, 6 points, up to 7th. We're looking stronger and stronger, aren't we? So that's good.
Yeah, it is.
That's it for this edition of Swans Talk. Thanks for listening.